Welcome, everyone. Welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I have my Hawaiian goddess princess with me today. Welcome,
Thank
Portia.
you. Thank you, Dion.
I just like to always see her face or hear her voice when I say that.
I know. Dion always makes me smile. And what do we call it, Dion? The Holly Berry from Trinidad? Absolutely. Especially when you saw these glamorous
At
pictures.
that body, trust me,
You asked
that
me
one.
before me. But these
No,
glamorous
you can.
pictures flashing in front of me and the music and everything. It's so it's so amazing to be here with you. And congratulations before we start on your very first show. Dun, 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 dun. It's great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a long time in a remake because this is a show that we had in studio many years ago. And it's time that we get it out and get in front of people's faces. And it's more of a global because when you're in studio, you're so restricted in regards to who you can have. It's only local people, right? And
That's
I've
true.
done ministers, consul generals, artists, and so forth. But it's not the same when you have an audience and connections all over the world. Like right now, you're in Hawaii. So
Yes.
it's really cool how we can do this. And there's times when we have some technical issues because we have to work with these things, but we'll get over that. So there's so many things can happen, but the bottom line is we try, and try again. But I have to say to you, congratulations, master teacher.
Thank
Portia.
you, Dion. Yes, Dion talking about my recent appointment. I'm now a certified master teacher of Master Sha's Tao Academy, and I'm
Mhm.
very grateful. And I want to thank Dion too for just loving me through it and supporting me. And we have a radio show together, and I don't know, we've grown it for a little while, Dion, huh?
It's a little while. It's been about, oh my goodness, over 6 months, 9 months, 6 months.
Yeah, it's been
It's 9 months. I
close to
can't remember.
9 months, I would say.
Oh my
Yeah,
goodness. I have to go back. Well, actually, I started the show before you came on the show, to tell you the
that's
truth.
true.
So
Mm-hmm.
I have to go back to the date and see if I could remember the first day that the show started. Oh, geez. Oh, well, you know what? When you're having fun, time just goes by. That's all I can say.
Absolutely. You're a trooper. You have been doing a lot today and a lot of connecting and
Yeah,
shows and this is your first show, so we wanted to make sure we got it off the ground and we could without any
all right.
technical things. So I'm so grateful. And I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy this day has come for you. Mark this day, August 4th. It's Deanne's
Thank you.
Oprah show.
Thank you.
Great.
Yes. And what I wanted to do with this show, I have so many shows and so many topic and themes to talk about.
Mhm.
So it's not the easiest thing in the world putting all these shows together. So I decided to
Yeah,
combine it under one brand and just have every week a different theme.
that's a great idea.
It's motivational day. So tell us, let's just get off the bat. What motivates you, Miss Portia, master teacher Portia?
Thank you, Deanne.
We
You
have to
know,
have fun.
oh, we do. That's the thing about Deanne and I, and that's why I said yes to her, because I was like, when she first asked me, I have a lot of different film and TV experience, but not radio. And she asked me, and I was like, I don't have radio experience. But I'm like, sure, I would love to be your co-host because it sounded fun to me,
It
you
is
know?
fun.
And
It is fun.
it
You don't
is,
have to
and
dress
I
up.
haven't,
You
go
don't
ahead.
have to dress up. You don't have to dress up.
I know it's just a little exception for us, actually. So everybody take pictures because we may not look like this. I was with a person today, and she's like, "Oh, I always see you, and you always look great," or and whatnot. She's really sweet, and I'm gonna interview her tomorrow, and her recording for her anyway. And I'm like, don't expect me tomorrow. It's at 6 a.m. recording. Don't expect me to look like it. Just take a picture in your mind because I might just roll out of bed and jump on the TV. But it's right. Diane told me that. She goes, and guess what, Portia? You don't have to dress up. You
Yes.
radio, you can just get up and go, and it's just how you're doing. And here's what I want to say about radio, Diane. I want to thank you for this.
You're
You,
welcome. I'm not sure what you're going to say, but thank you. You're
yeah,
welcome.
no, absolutely. Thank you before, after, and during. But I want to say this. You told me that radio was a different world. I'm not,
Yes.
I have never had that experience before. but I didn't know what you meant until almost the third show, I'm going to say. Because you said it's like you're on stage, but kind of you're the only one there, but you're performing to like a global audience. And it's this magical experience where it's just like you in this room and you have to focus. Your heart's going to focus, your mind, and things, every single word, every single perception becomes super intense and dynamic. And I've never experienced that because, all of our senses go out, right? But you brought that gift to me and you bring so much to people. And I'm so happy that you can be celebrated and you have this show. So
Yeah,
thank
thank
you.
you. Here's a difference about radio and TV as we're talking about this. And this is one of the reasons why it took me a long time to get back into front of people because, I don't wake up looking like this, type of thing. Your body goes through challenges. You lose weight, you put on weight, you get feel so tired, and it's all visual. It's all visual, and this is the problem a lot of people have is getting in front of cameras. But the idea is, I am really shy. You have no idea. You tell me do a photo shoot. You tell me to take out pictures. You may see pictures there, but it must be on a good day. I cannot actually, honestly, pose or script anything. I'm sort of my comfort zone. But you do candid shots or unexpected, then you may get one or two good shots. Okay, I'm just saying that honestly, people wouldn't believe this. I'm very
Right.
shy. I'm very shy. But when you come into having a conversation, the camera is minor. And that's the reason why I can do this because of the conversation. It's not the fact of being on camera, it's the conversation. I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm looking at you, which I really should be looking at the camera, which is this. But then again, if I look at this, I'm not seeing you. The thing about the
Mhm.
radio is the fact that you really have to listen because you're not
Yes.
seeing and you have to know where to go on cue. And there's some people I know who cannot do radio because they miss the cue. It's not easy having a conversation. I know Alan always says it's a gift and an art, but you kind
Mhm.
of tune in. So when you have headphones on and you're in your realm and you're listening, and you have to remember when you're doing your show, um we talk about motivation Mondays. Sorry, not Monday, motivational days. And when as you're doing your show, you have somebody in the background who's doing the technical part for you, not me.
Mhm.
I'm actually doing everything here myself, which was another reason why I was like, okay, I was saying to Alan, you got to do the stuff in the background, but then Alan's not always available. So then you look at people's schedule. The same thing with the radio. You know how many months it took us to get to where we are, and we're still not, doing it the way we really want to be. And it's all like a practice ground right now for us in regards to some of the things. And we can take it to the next level with doing the actual, having our own stream. But the radio part of it is that you're really in tune with someone. And as us being host, both of us, and we add someone else to the mix there as well, a third party, it's getting the right cues. And
Mhm.
sometimes people can get it and some not. But it really, again, come back to motivate. It inspires me. It's a different thing. It's me having fun, in regards to, I have a DJ mixer, which I don't even know to use it, to tell you the truth. And one of the reasons why is it's a USB and it has to be connected to the laptop. But then you have other things connected to the laptop and so forth. And trying to know everything is not in place because you have a mixer and you have the bells and whistles. I don't have the big studio I would love to have, but it is what it is. So it's all practice for me at this point in time. But here's the thing, I have fun. And when you do it
Mhm.
like yourself, it really motivates you to bring these people to the forefront. Have fun about it. Sometimes I just go and I just play music. I actually do a gospel show for the fun of it. One day, here's the funny thing. I get these little ideas in my brain and I didn't know what it was. And now I know it was like my one of my spiritual channels, my direct knowing channel, my soul communication channel,
Mhm.
saying, oh, just plant these little seeds. So one day I woke up and I said, oh, you know what? Out of the blue. Trust me. Oh, you should go and just record a show with, the hymns. We call it hymns when we were going out because I was born a Presbyterian. And I was like, okay. So I couldn't remember some of them, and I contacted my sisters and I said, can you tell me the name of the songs we used to sing? Because in Trinidad, we would sing the same songs more or less over and
Mhm.
over and over. And I just went and I did it. And that apparently inspired and motivate a lot of people because I was told
Music.
you cannot give up the show. I did all sorts of different version, but it's for fun. And I had fun doing it, not knowing how much it was motivating people and inspiring people. And I
Mm-hmm.
would go
Mm-hmm.
traditional church, and then I started to Google all different languages in Urdu and Hindu and Spanish and French, Hawaii. What language of it has you have in Hawaii? What you
Hawaiian. All
Hawaii?
different kind of languages, but yeah, Hawaiian.
Exactly. And people even instrumental Indian, it's not about the voice, it's about the music. It's the sound. And apparently even my sister started listening and
Wow.
they love it. Um it motivates them.
Yeah. Okay, here's what I know about you, Dion. And this is like back to the
This
topic
is
too,
not
because
the
it's the same
Diane
thing.
sure no. This is the motivational thing.
No, I was like before I was like she's like, "Oh, you're going to come on." I'm like, "Wait a minute. This is your first show. They want to know about you too and what makes everything happen and what's in your heart and soul." But I want to say these two things and it relates completely back to the topic. You're a one-woman show. I've always known that
That's true.
about you and I highly respect it. I heard it. I just heard it. So I'm just repeating what I hear.
That's
It's
so
talk
true.
about
I never have
spiritual
anybody.
channels and your intuition.
Oh my
It's just,
God, I never
it's
heard that.
alive. The other thing is Dianne, you and I both, that's why we're here motivating people and inspiring. That's what sets our heart on fire, is to empower people. That's what we
Mhm.
love to do. We love to do that in each other. We love to do that in groups of people. Whoever is watching right now, thank you. And we hope that you get something out of it. But we like to motivate people. And that's why you even chose this topic, and here we are.
It just came, it just came. And I have to say, this journey has not been, it's been a journey of so many people involved in my life. I feel like I was saved. People say you're born again. It was pretty much saved. You're part of it. Nivavita is here. She definitely is part of it. And she's saying hi to you. And
Hi,
congratulations, Portia.
Navavita. Thank you,
She's
Navavita.
okay.
Alan, everyone. Yeah, let's talk about the people that motivate us. Let's
Let's
just,
talk
you're the
about
starting. So,
Nivavita.
Deanne, who are some of the people that, since we're both hostesses here,
Of
who are
course.
some of the people that have motivated you in your life? So,
So
go
let's
ahead.
say one of the persons definitely who has motivated me tremendously, has saved me time and time again, apart from you and Master Shah and so forth. But Nivavita, Nivavita,
Mhm.
I'm saying this to you. I'm looking at you. I know you're looking right now. I've said this to you. You are someone who truly inspires me and empower me and said if she can do it, I'm watching the camera directly. She can do it,
Absolutely.
you can do it, I can do it. This woman
Hmm.
is on fire. She's 70 plus, and she knows that. It's no secret. She calls herself a senior, but it doesn't look like that. She's studying and just enrolled in a 12-month intensive wellness course to complement her business that we're working with her and so forth. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I encourage her to go out there, go on camera, do these things. But
She's
she's one of those people who
always
so
growing. She's always growing. That's what I
exactly.
love about her.
Exactly. She is humble. She is
Hmm.
loving. She's always there. So I want to say I am forever indebted to you because I told her she's never allowed to ever leave us in this lifetime or any lifetime because
No,
she
she's amazing.
inspires us.
She's your guardian angel. And here's what I wanted to share this very special, exotic memory of Nevavita. When we went to the Divine Love, we planned this Divine Love trip in Hawaii. And so all people all over the world came, and she was one of them for 3 days. And I remember taking off with her because we had the car, and everything. I'm like, come on, Nevavita, let's go. Because she wanted to get coconut. She never
But
had
that's
fresh coconut. And so she put on this like Hawaiian attire and we just went off on an adventure. And we just went to go get some ice cold coconut. And we had this man, she'll tell you, she's laughing right now, chop off the coconut. And we're like, can you cut it and put straws in it and these umbrella straws? And I'm born and raised in Hawaii, but I actually never had it straight from the coconut, like right there,
Are you
and had
serious? I
Yes, I
used
had
to
this
listen.
picture of her and I together. Well, you know what it is? Sometimes you get so busy. It's like you live next to the ocean, but my friends are kind of surprised because I get really busy sometimes. I hadn't been to the beach in 6 months actually, but now I have. I totally have. But do you know what it is? You don't get to go out and see the wonders of the world that you live in.
This is coconut, Portia. Who has never had a coconut that is from a tropical island with a strong? Well, listen, no, 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 wait. Let me back up the train here. In Trinidad, originally there was no straws. Okay, you just drank the coconut from there and it just dripped all the
Yeah,
way. And by the way, you know that coconut water stains?
I
Believe it or
know.
not, it does stain.
You see all
And
kind of tidbits on the show that you just cannot get anywhere else.
Exactly. But technically speaking, yes, you just drink it and then they'll cut um, a piece of it, which we call like a spoon, to when
Mm.
you cut the jelly. I love coconut jelly. And you eat the jelly because you're right there and then, and you just eat it like a spoon from the coconut shell, the outside skin part of it. So
Mm.
that's what it is. But if you want to see Nivita, she says she's laughing.
I know, I told you. I know, because it's yeah, we have this picture I took of her. I'm like, we're gonna get this like framed and everything because it's like adventures, and that's why I'm saying this is you said what motivational, first show motivational Wednesday. It's about not caring how old you are, you just want to have fun. You just want to keep living. You just want to keep growing. You want to keep pushing your boundaries, and you feel the unlimitedness of who you are, your source power, your Tao power, your heart. And she's one of those people. She keeps growing. She keeps figuring out who she can serve. She keeps networking and branching out. And she does what, we try to help her support her with the service and the love and the business and growing. And I know you've been instrumental in that, Dianne.
She
So I
has a
want to thank
lot.
you for that.
Wait a minute. Not to mention, she has a lot of gifts and talents people don't know about. So we actually right now branding her with her signature project program she has, like this soul operation. Nivita, the show has just became you. But Nivita is going to be on in a couple weeks, so we'll hear
I
that
know,
story.
I saw that. It's
But
going to
the
be
fact is,
awesome.
the fact is that we're talking about people who do things from their heart. And
Yep.
tell me some of the people. When you ask me who motivates me, you know what?
You have Neva
That's a
Vita.
very there's a very good question. Well, you guys, there's so many people in different ways, in
Yes.
different ways, in different capacity. In business, a different story. You look at people you admire. The
How
most
about entertainment? Do you have anybody in entertainment that you really look up to that
I
have
am a
helped you?
disco girl. I am such a disco
Oh, okay,
girl.
okay.
Okay,
That's
I
right.
am a
Hmm.
disco girl.
Disco queen.
I believe you're right about that. I actually, to tell you the truth, that's a very good question. I going back, I was first of all, I wasn't. This is not a story about me, but when I was, my mom had me 5 years after my older sister, my sister before me,
Hmm.
because we had six kids. I'm the younger of six, and of course, I was very, very, very sick. And one of the things I found out, the long story short, is go forward like almost, I don't know, close to 50 years after, I found out that I was one of those. I had to find out who I was, or where I am, or where I was going in
Hmm.
life, and that's when I did my NLP
Right.
about almost 10 years ago or 8 years ago. I can't remember myself now, almost 10. And basically, what it
Hmm.
was is that the moment you told me you're the light, there's a light in the family. And I always say this to people, it was like a light bulb. The whole class was bawling because I finally figured out why I was here. Why did I survive? I grew up on needles, more or less, for the earlier part of it. I remember that. So I must have been old enough to remember how many years I was getting needles. And I was always like a loner. I was always different to my sisters, and closer to my dad and so forth. Hang on. So I somehow I knew there was a life purpose even when I walked in from my job. I just didn't know what it was. I didn't know
Hmm.
who I was, and discovering who you are and where you came from, it's not something that happens overnight. It really isn't. So I feel like, I'm really bad when it coming to be part of boards and so forth, the directors, and because if I have an idea, I go right away to the same day, same moment, same hour, and I just go with it. So yes, I am a loner. Yes, it's hard to, when I have these unique ideas, I just go with it.
So
Um,
your ideas actually motivate you. It's not a person. I this
it's
much I do
yeah.
know about you. You just when you don't understand something, you figure it out. You like study, you ask
Well, I might
questions.
whine and complain a little bit and say I can't do it until one day I get frustrated. It's like, well, how do I do this?
Yeah.
Now, at first, I never used to use, go and research it online. But even for this platform, as you know, I was
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, no, I'm going to do this. The hardest thing about this platform was really figuring out how to do the banners, which was the easiest part. Well, to
Yep.
a certain degree. And then one night, late at night, and I have problems sleeping. So I actually went in now and I was like, okay, trial and error, trial and error. I was like, no, I got to do this. And then the rest is just history. So I know when you ask me, who's doing this with you, and I'm like, just me, because if I didn't do it, I wasn't going to do it because
Isn't
people,
gonna get done.
it's not going to be done. So who are you going to get to
Mm-hmm.
help you in regards to that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There's people in different ways and different capacity over the years, and some of them are no longer here. In that sense too as well. But the tipping point, I don't know. I don't remember. I don't retain a lot of things. It just goes one.
No, no, no. I want to touch on this because I think this is actually really good. The fact that your ideas motivate you and you don't let them
I'm an
just go
ideas
by.
person. I'm an ideas
Yeah.
person. I am
No,
super,
no,
but
because a lot of
you
people
know what?
don't. They don't recognize it as a spiritual intuitive gift
I
because it's
didn't
not
know that,
usual.
Portia. I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
but you do now. And
I
some people there might not. So we want to tell everyone out there that
mhm.
if you get that, and Dr. Rilin tells me that too. That's how I was mentored, quantum physicist and string theorist and divine love teacher. And she told me, Portia, if you get an idea and it's good and you feel it, work with your passion and make it happen. She
Mhm.
would tell me to write proposals and then deliver it to the team. I kept asking her, you talk about spiritual channels, right? And people are like, how you develop your spiritual channels and your intuitive guidance and all of this? And it's because you have to use it. That's what the thing is. She trained us to use it. And she said, I kept asking her, well, Dr. Lynn, how do you feel about that? And then finally she's like, how do you feel about that? I'm like, because it's always so dependent on her. And that's like the last time I asked her that. Because then she's like, no, you figure it out. You research, you do a proposal, then you present it. So then that just became the natural thing where I had to know about what I was trying to do and present and be on point with things. And you're the same way. You like figure things out if you don't know it. I know you asked me all kinds of questions. Portia, what do you think about this? Even StreamYard. You're like, Portia, what? I said, I think it's great. We're using it. Why don't you? I think it's going to be quite easy once you figure everything out. And here you are. Here we are.
Okay, thank you. So here's the thing about when I would say things to people and I was like, oh, I didn't know what I always knew I was more mature mentally than my age. Okay. I always knew this. And it actually now made me realize certain things in the past when it comes to academia, why I didn't connect with certain things. It's just really weird. And I never thought about it until not too long ago. And I'm like, oh, there's a lot of things I don't remember because I will do stuff. And
Mm.
then when I go to do an exam, I go blank. But I'm a visual person.
Oh, okay.
I would,
You're visual learning,
I'm visual.
visual
And
learner.
if I see a movie or something, I remember that. But tell me to
Yeah.
read something, no. So if I look at a video, I would stop and I would go and do what I got to do, and then I'll go back and say, okay, this step by step by step until like I figured out at this point in time. But what I've actually learned is we have something called secondary game where we depended on people, and I was totally dependent on quite a few people, my mentors and so
Mm-hmm.
forth. And they keep saying you're smarter than you think, and I was like, okay, how do I do this? Because one of the things about this is when we're talking about, I would have to get a designer to design all these different marketing promotional, and then a couple months ago, I suddenly stumbled and say, oh, I can do this, and then suddenly something came out of me, but it relaxed me. The music relaxed me, the way to relax me. This relaxed me. Believe it or not, this
Mm-hmm.
relaxed me. Not
And
getting
yet it would scare
this.
some people. It would totally scare. I've been with people, I do recordings. People are crying. They're like, they're talking to me in a different language. They want to translate or they don't want to do it sometimes. But you know what? When they finish it, I'm like, congratulations. And they didn't know they had it in,
It's
in them.
therapy.
And the same thing with your saying. It
It's
is.
it's
And then it
therapy.
becomes fun after a certain point. After
Oh,
you realize it's not about you. It's about the message and it's about the people that you want to help transform and empower. And I know this about you. That's why
This
I'm
is not a show about me, Portia. Well, the thing
no, it's
about
a show about us. It's a show about us because we're what are
so
you gonna do? You're gonna put two hosts together and you're gonna expect that it's only gonna be about them? I don't think so.
so
On the day of your celebratory first show premiere, are you
I
joking me?
know, I
What are
know.
we gonna do?
You know the
What are you
thing
gonna
about
do?
it too. But what I would like to, if anybody gets anything out of this, the most important thing is always remember the first time you do something, or the when you're about to do something, you could be a nervous wreck. Okay, that's
Mm-hmm.
fine. But the from the moment that you do it, it's no longer a challenge because it's no longer new. It's tweaking. It's tweaking. It's tweaking. That's what it's called, a pilot. That's why TV shows sometimes it makes it, sometimes it's not, and you see they'll change things differently and so forth and so forth. And this
Yeah.
is what it is. Do what you like, feel it. If it's for you, let it motivate you. The motivation, here's the thing about motivation too, it has to come from the inside. Everything has to come
Yes,
from the
yes.
inside. If you're
Agreed.
not motivated by your own self or the idea that you have, or you depend on somebody else, and for somebody to come to motivate you, then something's wrong, right? Something
Mm-hmm.
definitely is wrong. So I would suggest that you do something and motivate yourself, something for you. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what
Well,
we
well, here's the thing. I believe you can be inspired by other people, but I totally agree with what you're saying. That inner motivation, the long lasting, the lifetime motivation, the legacy motivation, that's internal. That has to come from the heart and soul. I agree with you
But most
completely.
people don't, but
You know?
Portia, people understand, see from the outside. They don't realize that thing because we're now talking about self love, self respect, self,
Mm-hmm.
we should have self hyphen everything else. So
Right.
now we have
Agreed.
to say, people say, okay, well, what motivated you? Well, there's got to be a spark inside of someone in order for them, you to be receptive of it, or of the idea of the thing, or you something, or the craft or the passion you have. So it has to come from the outside. I'm not dismissing sorry, the inside. I want people to start looking deep inside to see what do you love. Maybe the other word to use in motivation and inspiration is passion.
Yeah, exactly. I think they all work together.
They all work together, but I believe people may resonate motivation with some source coming from the outside,
Mm,
right? But it comes from the inside. So, and that's why certain words, and society has done this. If you hear the word passionate or passion, it comes from the inside. But
mm-hmm,
motivation, something has to motivate you, as you would not do it. Something has to inspire you. There has to be a trigger or something inside someone in order, because if it didn't resonate with you, then why in the world are you doing it?
mm-hmm.
The
Yeah,
message will come out so differently if you just do it because somebody tells you to do it. If somebody
right.
tells me to do something or forces me to go somewhere in a trip, it never works out.
Mm-hmm,
Leave
mm-hmm.
me, let me go. It's like my oldest daughter.
Right.
When she was a baby, and that's a long time ago, I could not get to potty train her. She just would not potty train. She's a Sagittarius, stubborn as could be. She's still stubborn.
Really, I just so happen to be a
Yeah,
Sagittarius.
well, many people you might know was Sagittarius. My dad was Sagittarius, but he wasn't that
Yeah,
stubborn. But the other people I know.
a
But
little
I'm telling you,
stubborn.
it's a trait. So am I. I'm a Taurus. Okay, so
Mm-hmm,
figure that one out. But the point is, I would say go. She's like 2.5 years old. No. So one day I decided, okay, forget it. I just put the potty there. And I said, when you're ready, just go. And from the time I said
mm-hmm,
that, in a day or two, she went on her own. The same thing with my niece and her son. I said, just let it go. And he will go. And he did. So
mm-hmm.
the point is, it has to come from the inside. When somebody keeps telling you to do something, you know it's not because something you want to do. You don't feel the passion, you don't feel motivated.
No,
However,
no, I
I would
agree.
say to people, learn from it, test it out, and see what you learn from there, because it just may open up something, or the spark. You just may have to massage it a bit, but it's something that you want. But you know, in deep down inside, it's just you don't want people to say that you have to do this. Now, coming from the outside, there's so many things that motivate people. I know people. Um, we have quotes. Are you okay, hon? So, Portia, will be back with us soon. But talking about that, definitely is something that we have to do. And it's something that we have to look from the inside to the outside. We have resources coming from the outside to work with us. There's quotes, there's places. We go to the lake, we get motivated. I went with my experiential team yesterday. We had lunch and we went to the lake and we had a blast. I know Alan was saying to us, and Rose, like, the inner child just came out. So this is one of the things I would like people to say, do things that make you feel good, that make you feel like you want to soar. I did things, I took out pictures, like I was like, okay, some of them worked, some didn't. We did some amazing impromptu video. We weren't dressed for promo, but we did these things, and this is what happened. So when you go to the lake, you relax. You don't have to go with anybody else. You don't have to do all these things. It's just that sometimes a little thing goes a long way. So, so many of you all, thank you all for dropping in, and do catch us on the replay on the DN show, and Portia will be back. I know she's just saying she's coming back right now. So I'm just going to read this while Portia is coming back. And Portia is
So
back.
sorry.
No, no,
So
hun.
sorry. I was just coughing a
That's
little
okay.
bit.
That's okay. This is what, talking about the coffin, Portia's going through a purification stage as well in her spiritual journey. And these things happen when their blockage is being released. So, you know, anything can happen when it's live. So that's okay. So Nivavita was saying here, and thank you, Abby, for dropping in, and Nivavita particularly. The elephant in the room session. Yes, that's a session I do, which is very signature. And I was doing it for fun for years, and I didn't realize what it was. And now I put it into perspective, and very powerful. She said that was very that I offer was very pivotal for her new transformational journey, and Portia was the one who chose me to be the demo for that. Yes. So, okay, what it was last year, there was an event, and I just started doing the elephant in the room, and it wasn't the elephant. I didn't brand it as the elephant in the room at the time, but we were talking about business, and we want to know why people get stuck. And it's not. And you did that session as well, and you discovered things. And
Yeah.
listen, I remember I have a testimony saying you're very grounded and pretty strong. I forgot the other word you were saying, but you didn't believe it. But you were up, you were skeptical, but you gave it the opportunity. But you
Yes.
discovered some things, and with Nivavita as well, that she's saying how when I gave the offer the gift, you were thinking of her, but at the same time I was thinking of her, and then you mentioned her name, and this was the beginning of her whole life being transformed because we worked with her so many times over, and here she is really kicking it compared to everybody else who done it. People have gone off in different areas and doing their thing.
Hmm.
Vivita is every day. I don't know where she finds the time. Plus, she do volunteer work. Plus, she works in a community. Plus, she's a yoga teacher. So those same people transform. I remember the first time we were in the event, and of course, Harsha was there, and she literally transformed. It's very transformative on the spot, as you know, and it's a reality. Those are the things that make me happy. Those are the things that
Yes.
make me.
Empowering people. That's what you love to do.
Right. Our job here is to inspire people. Our job here is to work with people and help them get to the next level, whatever that means to them. And especially in the business forum, because you know as well as I do that
Yes.
all these, I'm going to pick the group we're part in, they all have all this theory, but the practical part, because they're scared, they don't know why they can't get their business going. But a lot of them have a lot of talents.
No, that's, I think, most people in the world. So we
They
talk about motivation. So let's go back to that. Um, you need the heart. I think that's what we're all talking about. You need the intrinsic motivation. I think when you're young, Dianne, it's kind of like my father is a big my mother. They were just very hardworking people, and they believed in working hard to get places in life, and they instilled that in me. And But then there comes a time where it has to come from the inside, then it flows out, right? And that's what you were talking about, the intrinsic motivation. It's part of you now. They showed you that Tao source, that love, that passion. And you found it. And now you can actually run with it. And you instilled that in Navavita. And I also help, and we mentor Harsha and we mentor, and we all help each other because it takes a village. It's literally, it takes a global village to come together and support each other and love each other and post things on Facebook. Like, I tell people, why don't we just share things from other people? You know, because
There's no
they're
competition.
trying to do good things in the world. Just share it on your. It doesn't take that
Yeah.
long.
No, and there's no
No,
competition. I do anything
no.
better than you do, and so forth. It's just something. My parents had a business, like I said, um, and we used to do school furniture across the country. I believe the other islands, and I grew up with that. And we pretty much hire everybody in the village, even when something happened, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones. I'm not saying this for ego whatsoever, but you're talking about a village. And my father, my mother. Sometimes there was a time we couldn't walk the street. That is a whole other story for
Yes.
a reason. But the point is, they didn't they did not look at that and say, we're not going to work with these people in the village. And so, no, the door was
Yeah.
always open. The door was always
Exactly.
open. People are sued and so forth, but it's the same people who started a union. It's the same people. Stuff is the same people who were always there. And this is how we grew up. If something happened to you in the village, everybody was there to support. So it is definitely
Yeah.
so. So, you know, talking about motivation and inspiration and what gives you that drive, all these things about, you have to feel it, you have to look at it, you have to read, you have to share, you have to read the quotes. You never know. By motivating somebody else, that's what motivates you. So when you share a quote, all those little um bites that Nivedita does all the
Yeah.
time,
The memes. Mm-hmm.
memes, and she does the videos now, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
She does that. And sharing that with another, when you hear the story and say, if somebody says, you know what, this was awesome, that's what motivates me because I see her doing things. I see Abby doing
Mm-hmm.
things. The Abby has her group. I see all these other hashes with her amazing singing bowls. You now on the platform where you have the opportunity now to help so many in a different way because you're a mentor. We're all mentors to each other.
Right. All
In
are
different
mentors,
capacities,
teachers, and
of course.
students. Yes, I
We
agree.
always meant as teachers and students, absolutely. And this is the thing, it is, it's like, what do we do to take it to the next level? Well, you all need to tell us what we need to do or what you're looking for us to help you take it to the next level. It's as plain as simple. Because if you don't say it, you would know. I tell everyone to go on. I know it sounds crazy, but everyone to go and do
Mm.
some kind of, I should write a book, have some kind of presence, visual presence, audio presence, book presence, blog presence. Have a presence because you can motivate people by what you're sharing and what you're writing.
Right. And the other thing is what you share comes back to you. It's like a universal law, right? We can just talk
Mhm.
about, let's just talk about love. I think one of the purest senses of motivating people is feeling the love, being open to the love, being open to what you don't know that's out there,
Mhm.
being open to, like you say, look at your challenges and your blockages and don't sweep it under the carpet, but really take a look at it and go right to it and feel it and transform it. I think that's really important. And that's what you do, Dianne. I know because I've seen you go just in the 1 year that I've known you, that you're always like, Portia, what do you think about this? You ask people. You don't settle and you say, what do you think about this? Is this, how's this layout? Or what do you think about this idea? Or what about this platform? Or how do you feel about? And that's good because you're getting feedback, you're getting stimulus,
Absolutely. We
you're getting
cannot do
motivation.
we cannot do this alone. And I don't typically say this at all, but for some reason, something I thought was one of the most difficult tasks to do was designing all of these, marketing materials. And to me, I just go boom, boom, boom. And people would say, can you design and charge me for it? And I was like, charge? Know what that means.
Yeah, you
Because,
became an expert in
no.
it.
However, it's I can just go out and do something, and then for me, I can play around with it, and it's best when I do it late at night because I just get this. Because of course I can't sleep. But doing all these things is what would really, and as I started to craft that, which is unexpectedly, it started to motivate me more, and I
Mm-hmm.
look forward, and inspired me so much to do the shows now because I didn't have to wait on another person because that was what's
Right.
holding me back before. And this is what it is. What just came to my mind is your niece, like your
Yeah,
niece and children.
she's something.
Look at children, how carefree they are.
They are spontaneous. I'm like, ooh, do you want to do this promo with me? She's like, what is it? I'm like, well, you got to put on this wig and then you get to move around and dance and I'll be right there and we'll cue you and you just do what you're normally born to do. She goes, I get to be in front of stage. I get to present. I'm like, yes, I'll even do your introduction.
Is a
Introducing.
She's a mini you. That's who she is. She is a
Oh,
mini. She
she
looks
has a bright future.
she looks up to you tremendously, and this is what we're saying. Look in the eyes of the children. Look in the eyes of somebody else. Look in between the lines. When you have even somebody who is going through a trying times, and you
Yeah.
read what they're writing, go through just read it and say, okay, what do you get? What message are you getting from this? How can I help that person move forward in their life? But
Mm-hmm.
also, I always believe we're a reflection of each other, regardless. When you're working with a client, it's a mirror. You see part of you in there. So when you read in some of the the cries that people are crying out, you see things in you and say, okay, how can I help another? You have to share. You just can't let
Yeah.
it pass. You have to say something.
Yeah, you're right. You know what it is about that childlike innocent? She has no fear of failure.
Mhm.
It's literally just fun.
There's no, there
She
is
doesn't she doesn't see it like, oh, am I gonna did
no,
I do it right? I'm like, did you have fun?
lessons.
Did you have a great time? Yeah. But we forget that somewhere along the line between coming into this world and when we have to do something, it's just like we have all these judgments of ourselves when we failed and all this information, this negativity and other people, like what are they gonna think or say? But when you really just have an internal drive and you just feel like it's gonna be fun, it's gonna be exciting, it's a celebration, and then it turns into that because we create our reality. You created this whole thing.
Mhm.
You didn't know how to do half of this. You learned along the way. You didn't let it stop you. And that's what I love about you. And that's why I'm always like, Portia, I need, okay, sure. I'll try if I can do it. I will try my best to be here for that moment.
Oh
Because
my God,
yeah, it's
Portia! If
special.
I tell you some of the projects that I
I'm
came up with
sure.
and created, that you have no idea what my name was. Can I begin to tell you that the people who had given some bad feedback from Oprah to whoever in the show. She see my shows and all that stuff, things like that, and that's the thing. I always say, like for Oprah particularly, and I'll tell you why. Um, Steve Harvey, I talk about his story. If he had the power and the money then, he wouldn't have known what to do with it. So I don't
Yeah.
believe a coulda, shoulda, woulda, and so
Hmm.
forth. I embrace, what it is. It is what it is. But for Oprah, I don't want to go and knocking on people's door anymore. I want people to come knocking on my door and say, "Whoa, you have something incredible that you built. You know, let's talk." I want them to come to me. And
Yeah.
yes, it's a work in progress. One of the challenging projects that we have was getting that radio, the equipment.
But you did it. You
Um,
figured it all out.
I had
It took a
somebody
little while,
I
but
had
you
it.
did
I
it.
have a guardian angel who has been with me and very patient. But it's the equipment. It's the equipment was what it is, and the person's not even here. So I applaud him for that. Just being very, 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 very patient with me, and I've known him like all my life, pretty much. So I have to say thank you to everyone who has done that.
Yeah.
But Portia, before we go soon, I'm giving you enough time, Portia, because we got to we have the master teacher here, so obviously the master teacher has to, she knows her
We have
job.
to do a blessing for the show.
How many of us are going to
Absolutely.
show, and for
So
everyone
on this
who will be inspired by this show.
Absolutely. So, everybody here live, and also for Dianne's great show, and for all the special guests that will be here, exciting for this month. She has them posted already. Let's do a blessing. So, we're just going to close our eyes for a moment. We're going to focus on our heart. Maybe you can put your hand on your heart, and you watch the recording. You can do this later. And just for a moment, we're going to just focus on the soul and the heart of this show, because everything in the world has a soul and the heart. Breathe deeply and feel it. Even if you can't see it, you talk about our spiritual channels, our intuitive guidance, but it's okay. You just have a knowing sometimes or a feeling. You don't have to see anything, It's all perfect. And so just focus on whatever it is, the essence, if you're here right now in the field, and you can focus on just being present. But send all of that love, that gratitude, that light, because the energy that you send is the energy that you receive for your hopes, your dreams, your wishes. But just for this minute, let's send all of this love, deep success, celebration, fun, excitement, joy, because that's the frequency of very high vibrational energy, right? Vitality. And just feel that. Take a moment to feel it and send that energy right here to Dianne's heart and soul, to the show, to the special guests, to all that will be changed and transformed. And feel that. Truly feel that love and allow it to expand your heart, your own field. We all have a vibrational field. And if we set this intention right now together, it's so powerful. And so feel that. And then with manifestation, you just feel it, you drop into that energy and you release it and you let the universe bring it to you. And for everyone here now, I want you to have your heart focused on something that you want to bring into the world as well. We'll do this together. Something that's your passion, something that truly you want to birth, recreate, reinvent, to become, or to have, that will serve the world as well. Because when one person hopes, dreams, and wishes come true, it allows that for everyone else. It's we're one vibrational field. It's quantum physics, right? So when Dianne's dream comes true, that allows everyone else's dreams to come true. Feel it and then release it. And just allow the universe to do what it wants with it. As we activate this blessing as appropriate, to move into the field, to be felt by everyone here, sensed. Maybe you even get some guidance or some beautiful messages or inspiration. And take that into your heart. Dianne, show your hope, dream, wish, whatever it is. And everything becomes one. We need more things in the world that will serve this world in a time of great chaos, providing great opportunity for everyone to flourish, to reach their hopes, dreams, and wishes. And the blessing ends for everyone, but it's just a new beginning as well. So just take a little while before you completely come out to just send your gratitude to all these hopes, dreams, and wishes for the higher power, for inspiration, motivation, gratitude, whatever it is, the love, greatest love, to all of the people that made it happen, the global village that we talk about, all of our ancestors, our family, our community members, our business teams, service teams, the people that have mentored us, all of our great teachers in every aspect of life, especially our spiritual mentors. So we're going to feel that love and send it to them and send the deepest gratitude. And to these ideas, inspirations, and guidance that comes through them to us and are birthed into the world and allow us to create and recreate ourselves. So just take that moment before you leave that space, that heart space of appreciation and gratitude. It's one of the fastest ways to grow in our lives. And then just let it go and slowly come back and just see how you feel. Has anything shifted or changed for you? And Dianne, maybe if you have a chance when you get back, you share a little bit. If you felt anything, or if
Of
you didn't, it's
course.
fine.
No. Oh, Portia, you know I always feel. And my hands are still, I could feel it like a sensation from my hands too as well, which is the one with about my heart particularly.
Mm,
And the hands too. And here is the thing, there's always a shift. And I have come to learn that sometimes one of the most powerful mantras that actually Nivavita had told me that the divine
mhm,
and the heavens team had told me I should, and my body
mhm,
goes into a whole different world, and it's I am that that I am. I'm God's light, and when I activate that, and I don't do anything different, I just say it, and the slower you say it, is the more you feel it. A friend said to me once a long time ago, and I said, just say something to me. I didn't even know it was Gandhi. And I always tell a story. And it said, be the change you seek. And I used to have other shows, and I would start telling people, okay, I used to always read a quote from somebody, popular, famous, successful in business and so forth. But then I started giving the guest the opportunity of actually sharing a quote. And one of the
mhm.
most common quote was that quote, be the change you seek, in all different versions, a long version, the short version. I didn't even know it was that long. A 14-year-old girl at the time, she gave me the longest version. She's a very smart girl, and her name is Gabrielle. And I'm saying to everyone, be the change you seek. If there's a void, go and do something about it. If something is missing, go and do something about it. And that's how the projects that we had are created. And some of them we started to, and some will still be executed, came about. Because it's not that it's
Yes.
uncommon, but there was a little twisted. I didn't even know there was a twisted, and somebody said to me, the mentor at the time, oh, I said, well, why is this different? He said, because it's coming from a different place. He wasn't talking about the spiritual part, he wasn't taking the heart part. It's because for some reason it just seemed a little different. And we had people in very high places actually would say, like, oh, this is really cool. And you'd be very surprised. So all I'm saying to everyone is just whatever your heart desires, don't dismiss any thought that you have, because you never know what it might be. And at the end of the day, we're here to serve. At the end of the day, we're here to help another. And if we
Yes.
believe that and we do this, that's all we need. And we inspire, motivate, support just one person, would it be, you know, as a quote
Yes.
or a message on a comment
Mm-hmm.
or something, then you did what you were supposed to do. And so for everyone who has been on with us throughout the whole show and who catches on the replay, I would just love to say, share with us. Go in the comments and tell us if anything we said, inspired you, because that's why we're here. It's motivational day. But every show is a motivational show. It's not titled motivational
Absolutely.
show, but every show is motivational. So I just want to shout out to everyone before we start wrapping up here. If you want to find out more about how you can be part of this, yes, we're looking at it. This is the wrong click I have here at the banner, but that's okay. If you want to know how you can actually inspire us, and if you want to know how you can actually become a sponsor here, then certainly, definitely, this is the one I wanted. Um, And this is what happens, especially when you have your glasses on and you're doing everything. And this is, but
A one woman show.
here's the thing, it could be done, okay? Because I have so many shows I do. But if you want to be a sponsor, hey, this is me, take it or leave it. If you want to become a sponsor here as well, please do reach out to us. This is what live is about. We're live because we want to be engaging, and this is why we have this conversation. If we're going to have it in a more professional setting, then that's a whole different, format and so forth. But we wanted to be live, we wanted to be fun, we wanted to be spontaneous. But one of the most important things, I wanted people to let people know that when you go live, there's no right or wrong. It just happens. It is what it
As
is.
long as you get it right,
Yes,
eventually, I think it's perfect. And you do. You
you know
did. And you have your first show today.
we
Great.
it's been quite a motivational day. That's how I'm going to put it. It's been quite a motivational day. We went from
Same.
Nigeria, and we went to Hawaii, we went all over the place, and and definitely. But my dear, it's time to say farewell. So,
I
what would
know.
you like to say? Mhm.
Okay, I want to say this. I think exactly what we talked about. Eventually, when we get it right, that's where that motivation you
Do we
can
really
really
want to get it
feel.
right? Sorry,
Huh?
do we really want to get it right? It might
Well,
be.
close is really good. Like today I wasn't gonna share, but since you asked, Yan, we actually did this show this morning, you know, and we arranged our schedule so we could actually be here at the same time and did all of these jump through hoops and we and it didn't quite, but you know what? And then I'm like, Dion, we need to reshoot that. She was like, we need to reshoot this. So I'm like, yeah, because we kind of wanted to get it close. I won't say right, but we wanted to at least be here with all of
Um,
you. And this is the thing about motivation, right? Right, Dion, is that you just keep trying until you get it close. And eventually one day you'll you'll get it pretty close to
oh,
right, if not
well,
right on,
here's the thing.
you know?
Here's the thing. Just
So
like the
good enough.
radio, you never know who's on the other side, and you have to work with that energy. You have to work with that person because it's never going to
Yeah.
be perfect in that sense. I mean, definitely. And it's funny how you happen to be available again, which is unusual. So typically that's so unusual for you. But here's the thing, we went to Nigeria and we had, did you know in Nigeria there's no electricity during the day, more or less? So they shut it off and they have to use generators, and then the rain came and all that stuff. So
I know
again,
that. It's
yeah, I saw that in
amazing.
Hollywood too, but I actually experienced it today twice. So, but again, we didn't give up because now we're going to take that show to radio because the technology somehow it will not work in from Nigeria. So we're going to take it to the radio side of it, which is much easier to do. And again, this is what
Yeah,
motivates you.
much
You
easier.
find a different way to do it, and you just do it. Definitely so.
Okay, so Deanna, I have this really cool motivational story for
Go
you. It
ahead.
just happened
Go ahead.
yesterday. Well,
Go
I
ahead.
found out about it yesterday. You'll love this. So we talk about the heart of motivation, right? It needs to come intrinsically. I think we
Yes.
established that. When we're little, it might be outside of us from our parents or teachers, but eventually they're all pointing to our heart and soul so we can develop it. And then there's the action part, right? We talked about like you just motivate me because you just sometimes we consistently just get it wrong. And then we have to eventually it's gonna flip because success and disaster, Master Shaw tells us that, right? A worldwide humanitarian and just amazing. No one loves like him. But he always says that disaster and success come together as one. So success is just right around the corner if you're failing right now. So don't give up. And the Olympic champion who just won gold, did you see that with the gymnast?
And
She
no,
lit
I
so
didn't.
okay, Simone, who's she's known to take all the gold home or at least many medals, right? In the women's gymnastics team, the US team. She actually had some mental and great for her to admit it and say she wasn't quite ready. So she actually kind of stepped back and let her other teammate who was not supposed to even be in that, and that teammate stepped up and I heard she took gold for the floor routine. That's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about being there. It's like Harrison Ford. He was just on the set trying to help like set behind the set. And then the actor didn't show up. And they're like, you kind of look the part. How do you feeling? Because it's kind of like a multi-billion-dollar set we got going on here. And he was just right time, right place. And he was in there. he was right in the heart and soul of it. And
Mm.
that's what I'm say is motivational. Is sometimes you might not be, you might be the underdog. You might not be in consideration. But if you're consistently performing at your heart and soul's best, even if it's not quite right, it's close. One day you'll get that opportunity. And Simone said she's just so proud of her because she stepped
Yes.
up and she did
Yeah.
it.
You have to give someone else the moment to shine. And that's what it is.
Exactly.
Because, if you constantly, you work hard, but here's what she was, sorry, the winner more than anybody can even imagine because she gave somebody else the opportunity to do this, no matter how hard she worked,
Yeah.
because they still get the goal. And if she went, she believed that she wouldn't have been at her best performance. So instead of going there, and
Mm-hmm.
she knows how hard everybody has worked, you just have to just pass on the
Mm-hmm.
torch. Basically, that's what it is.
Absolutely.
And
Know
we
when
here
to
to
hold
pass.
back, know when to move forward.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And we here to pass on the torch to say to everybody who's listening here, you have the opportunity to do this, and you should be doing
Yeah.
this regardless. And you should be, sharing your products and your services. And it's about business. It's about reaching out and people build that rapport. And that's a whole nother show we can talk about in regards to how to get people moving forward. But again, you know, we want to do this with you. So we're looking for sponsors. I'm not going to deny that. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for people who have really cool stories. And there's so much we're going to do at the end of the day. And it does take time to do all of this. And we're willing to do it as long as everybody's willing to share. So I would love for people to go out and share what they liked about it. And for those who are here today, definitely so. But my dear, I want to say thank you so much
Thank you.
for doing this, and we would have gotten this. And I cannot wait for you to come back and share all your gifts and talents on our radio show, The Divine Soul Journey, because they're waiting for you. The show is
Yeah.
still on. I've been doing it behind the scenes.
You have,
I've been
Dianne is
holding up
so
the fort.
amazing.
I've
The
been
show
holding up
must
the
go
fort.
on.
I've
You
been
have.
holding up the fort. Um, and I keep saying to people that, you know, yes, she's coming back. I'm giving her some time. She's doing her
Absolutely.
training, everything, but she's going to be back with a banger. And we look forward
Absolutely.
to
Yeah.
that as well. So I would like to say thank you so much again for taking the time from your busy, crazy schedule that I know you have, but you love. This is where you're supposed to be. And this is where we're going to take it to the next level by bringing all of this to the forefront to everyone, in front of everybody's faces. Literally, I am going to put it in front of everybody's faces because
You're
believe
doing
me,
it. You're
it's
doing it.
what I do. Well, I like to push people to the limits and say, if I can do it, you can do it. If you can do it, then definitely I should be looking at it to tell you the truth. So that's why you guys motivate me and have fun. Keep smiling, keep laughing because it makes you young. That's what I was told. So I'm practicing it more.
Absolutely.
You're gonna
We're
hear
all
some
just going
goodness.
back to what we were, which is that state of like Tao source, love and and the creative gifts and amazing, extraordinary possibilities, Dianne. And this is your moment and your show and the premiere, and I'm so grateful for you.
Thank
You
you.
did it.
And here's the thing about the shows. This is so much easier than having to go to a studio and production. Trust me on
Yeah.
that one. That is more expensive. It's more editing. Yes, there's a lot of editing can be done here, but it's live. So it's okay. We will get this right eventually, but you got to work with what you have. And, technology is great and the show must go on. So thank you so
Yes.
much, Master Portia Ing.
Thank you,
Can't wait to
Dianne.
see
Love
you.
you.
Cannot wait to see you. This time we'll have coconuts. We may have mango with a straw too. Actually, somebody said it to me. Somebody said it to me. There's a friend of theirs who actually squeeze a mango, stick a straw in it, and drink it from a straw.
Wow. That's that's great. Sounds fun.
I heard that. Somebody told me that. That's what they do. So you never know. You might get the mango instead of the coconut. I have a friend who
Absolutely.
actually always bringing coconut for me. So whatever. So I want to thank everyone, and there's our contact. And if you want, Portia, how do they contact you?
They can contact me on Facebook. I'll put some information in the chat boxes and the comment boxes after the show for
Well,
sure.
thank you. Well, thank you so much. And I wish you all the best in lovely Hawaii. And
Thank you.
we'll see you when you come down this way as well. But
Yes.
you don't be a stranger, and you will not be a stranger to us, because we can talk about different things as we go along, as different shows, because there's always something to talk about. And motivational day does not
Mhm.
only mean the word motivational, okay? It means other things as well. It's sharing stories and having fun and inspiring people, and that's all it is about, right? It could be dance, it could be anything. It could be, spoken word, poetry. It could be anything as long as it
Yeah.
motivates someone. So I would like to say for everyone there, please, thank you all.
Thank you everyone for joining us.
And you have to excuse me here. And I want to thank everyone who has been with us. And I would love to say thank you so much for all the love and support that you have given to us. And sometimes it's the little things like this that really means a lot to me, that inspires me, because it's fun. You know what? It was a long day, and it ended up on a great note. So thank you so
Yeah.
much, Portia. Thank you so much for everyone who has been actually on there with us today. And I can't thank you all enough. So on that note, this is Deanne saying thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you guys. Like I said, if I can do it, you can do it. If Portia and I can do it,
Hmm.
everyone could do it.
Absolutely.
And if you all can do it, share with us what we can do. Because we want to get ideas too as well. So thank you so much. This is the Deanne Show, and I cannot say enough of this. This is going to be phenomenal as long as you allow us to be phenomenal in your life. And that's what we want to do. So you yourself can be that person. We're just here to plant the seed, Portia and myself and everyone else. So until next time on the DN show, next week is going to be another week, another theme, and it's going to be fabulous with our guests. So until next time, let's say our goodbyes, Portia.
Bye everyone. Thank you,
Let's
Tia.
You're welcome, and let's do what Portia loves to see, the promo.
Absolutely. We're gonna dance and celebrate.
I love the music, and I want to shout out to Ralph for that music, because that's original from Ralph, and he's amazing, phenomenal, and he's going to be on the show too as well with the
All
music.
right. It's awesome.
Absolutely. But thank you, everyone, and all the best. Take care.
Bye everyone.